I found out my sister was behind my ruined life, so I made her live mine. I don't know when exactly the hatred started. Maybe it was always there, dormant, like a splinter beneath the skin. Or maybe it grew slowly, one betrayal at a time, until it consumed everything. I used to think I had a good family. That was before I learned the truth. Before I realized a person who had been sabotaging my life at every turn was the one I trusted the most. My sister. I don't know when exactly the hatred started. Maybe it was always there, dormant, like a splinter beneath the skin. Or maybe it grew slowly, one betrayal at a time, until it consumed everything. I used to think I had a good family. That was before I learned the truth. Before I realized the person who had been sabotaging my life at every turn was the one I trusted the most. My sister. We grew up in the kind of house people envy from the outside. White picket fence, 2 stories, big backyard. Our parents had decent jobs. Dad was a CPA, Mom worked in insurance. Nothing lavish, but stable. Comfortable. Secure. It was me and my sister, Ava, 2 years apart. She was a golden child. Blonde hair, perfect teeth, straight A's, cheer captain. The one who never messed up, even when she did. Ava had this way of making everyone bend toward her orbit. Teachers loved her. Friends adored her. My parents, they worshipped her. And me? I was the backup plan. The second draft. The don't forget your brother comment at Ava's award ceremonies. But I didn't mind, not at first. I loved her, genuinely. I was proud of her. I used to defend her when kids said she was fake or manipulative. I thought they were just jealous. I didn't know how right they were. The first sign that something was wrong came my senior year of high school. I was applying colleges. Nothing crazy, just a few decent state schools. I had decent grades, nothing stellar. But I had good recommendations, solid extracurriculars, and my essays? I spent weeks on them. Every single application got rejected. Every one. It felt like the universe was playing a joke on me. When I asked for feedback from one of the admissions counselors, they told me my personal statement had raised red flags. Apparently, there were concerns about plagiarism. I was stunned. I'd written every word myself. I asked to see what they were talking about. The counselor paused awkwardly and said the essay contained passages that had been flagged from online sources. Some of them, strangely enough, were from Ava's old blog, a blog I didn't even know was still up. I chalked it up to coincidence, a fluke, a system error. Ava even comforted me, told me it sounded like some crazy algorithm mistake. She gave me a hug and said she'd help me with reapplications the following year. I believed her, because that's what brothers do. I took a gap year, worked at a local hardware store, tried to regroup. Ava left for college, pre-law, naturally. My parents beamed when she left. I didn't even get a goodbye dinner. During that year, little things started to fall apart. My car broke down. Turns out someone had poured sugar in the gas tank. My email account was hacked. I lost access to everything. Even my boss at the store started acting strange and eventually let me go over performance issues I still don't understand. It wasn't until 2 years later that I saw the messages. Ava had a boyfriend in college, Mark, kind of a dopey finance major, but decent enough. They were on again, off again, and one night when she was home for the holidays, they had a fight. She stormed out and left her phone on the kitchen table while she went for a walk. Curiosity got the better of me. I shouldn't have looked, but I did, and I found a folder in her messages called Burn Folder. I opened it. What I saw made my stomach turn. Screenshots, emails, passwords, fake applications, doctored transcripts, copies of my college essay, with parts copied and pasted, others modified to look plagiarized. There were even messages to my old boss, pretending to be me, complaining about coworkers and insulting customers. She had sabotaged everything, every opportunity, every connection, every chance I had to make something of myself. All because, what? She was bored, jealous, wanted to feel superior? I remember just sitting there, the room spinning, reading her messages to Mark like they were jokes. Ava, He actually thinks the college dropped him because of an algorithm LMAO. Mark, your evil face with tears of joy. Ava, nah, just making sure the family idiot stays in his lane. I felt sick. Betrayed doesn't even begin to describe it. When she came back, I confronted her. She didn't even deny it. I was just trying to help, she said. You were never going to make it at those schools. You have flunked out and embarrassed yourself. I did you a favor. A favor. She had ruined my life, and she thought she was doing me a favor. I told my parents, showed them the messages, the emails, everything. They said I must have misunderstood. That Ava wouldn't do something like that. That maybe I had faked it out of jealousy. I was 20 years old, standing in the living room of the house I grew up in, holding undeniable proof in my hands, and they looked at me like I was a villain. They kicked me out that night. No money, no support, just a backpack and a shattered version of my past. I couch surfed for a while, then moved into a friend's basement. I picked up odd jobs, barely scraping by, but I didn't give up. I started reading. Not self-help books, but legal codes, tech forums, cybersecurity blogs. I learned how people got revenge, the clean kind, the smart kind. I spent the next 5 years rebuilding my life, slowly and silently. While Ava climbed the ladder at a prestigious law firm, I was building my own digital consultancy, ghost clients, side gigs, learning every system I could, from credit tracking to public record scraping. She thought I'd disappear. She thought wrong. The first step in my plan wasn't about taking her down. It was about watching her. For 2 years, I monitored her life. Publicly, she was thriving. Polished LinkedIn profile, active social media, speaking at panels for women in law. Privately, she was bored, drinking more, cheating on Mark, treating her colleagues like trash. I created a fake online persona, a woman named Elena, and began networking in the same spaces she did. Twitter threads, Slack groups, LinkedIn DMs. Elena was charming, smart, ambitious. Everything Ava admired. It wasn't long before Ava reached out to Elena herself, asking if she wanted to grab a drink while in town for a conference. Hook, line, sinker. There's a certain kind of silence that follows betrayal. It's not peaceful. It's suffocating. It wraps around your ribs and squeezes, whispering you're nothing. You're no one. No one will believe you. That's what I lived with after Ava destroyed me. But silence can teach you things. How to observe. How to wait. How to make your move so carefully, so precisely, that by the time they realize what's happening, it's already over. And that's how I built Elena. She started as an idea, a profile picture, a name or resume full of vague but impressive achievements, tech law hybrid starter consultant, fluent in cybersecurity policy, Stanford JD MBA. She was everything Ava admired, and more importantly, everything Ava needed to impress. But an online persona wasn't enough. Ava had to meet her. So I hired someone to play the part. Her name was Nia, a freelance actress from New York who did corporate training videos and immersive theater. I found her through a casting network and sent her a carefully sanitized script. You'll play an ambitious, well-connected tech lawyer. Your job is to be charming and ask questions. Don't share anything real. Just mirror the energy. She read the dossier I'd built on Ava, studied her patterns, her favorite talking points, even her drink order. Nia, or Elena, was a natural. They met at a rooftop bar downtown during a legal tech mixer. Nia wore a sleek gray suit and subtle gold jewelry. She carried herself like someone who billed $800 an hour and knew it. Ava practically sprinted across the rooftop when she saw her. "Elena," she chirped, her voice an octave higher than normal. "I feel like we've been delaying forever." Nia smiled, cool and composed. "It's great to finally meet in person." They ordered drinks, Ava vodka soda, Elena Negroni, and took a seat near the edge of the patio, city lights flickering behind them like a stage backdrop. I wasn't there, but I had a live stream. Nia wore a hidden cam in her necklace. I watched from my apartment across town. Every word transmitted in real time through my laptop. Ava did what she always did. talked too much. She bragged about how she basically ran her firm's new privacy team, even though she was just mid-tier, claimed she had inside dirt on some high-profile clients, laughed about manipulating junior associates to make herself look better. Then she started probing. So tell me, Ava leaned in, eyes gleaming. What's your secret? You don't look a day over 30, and you're already consulting for C-suite execs. Nia smiled. Luck, timing, and knowing when to shut up. Ava laughed too hard at that. That night, Nia debriefed with me over phone. She's thirsty for power, she said. Wants status, not substance. You were right. She's the kind of person who'd sell out her own reflection if it meant a better title. Perfect, I said. From that point on, Ava and Elena were inseparable, online at least. Weekly DMs turned into daily texts. Ava sent Elena resume drafts, insider gossip, even firm documents just for feedback. And I kept the receipts. Every single one. The next step was tightening the vice. Using the info Ava gave Elena, I began building a series of anonymous reports to her firm's compliance department. Nothing wild, just enough to raise questions. Improper data access. Unsecured confidential files. Potential COIs with clients Elena pretended to know. At the same time, I leaked sanitized versions of Ava's private messages to 2 legal industry watchdog blogs, again, anonymously. Then I looped in the State Bar with carefully worded concerns. Ava's world started tilting. She called Elena in a panic one night. They're pulling my client portfolio, she said breathlessly. My managing partner said they got an anonymous tip. Someone's trying to frame me. Could be that guy from IT you mentioned? Nia said, reading the line I had prepped for her. No, it's more personal than that, Ava said. I think it might be my brother. I froze. He found some old stuff on my phone years ago. Emails. I don't even know how. He was always bitter. He just wasn't meant for this world. Ava didn't reply right away. Nia knew to let that silence stretch. Then softly, do you regret what you did to him? Ava hesitated. No, he would have failed anyway. I just sped it up. I clenched my jaw so hard it hurt. Even now, even after everything, she felt no guilt. That was when I knew this wouldn't just be about destroying her career. She had to feel it. Within a month, Ava's promotion was suspended. The firm launched a formal investigation. She was pulled off her biggest accounts and assigned to internal policy reviews, basically purgatory for ambitious lawyers. Worse, her fiancé Mark finally confronted her about the second credit card. Yes, I mailed him a nice little gift box. Print out her transactions, a copy of her hidden Tinder profile, and a summary of her DMs with a junior associate named Kyle. He moved out 3 days later. Ava cried on Instagram. At this point, I had everything I needed to end her, but I wasn't done yet. I wanted her to beg. So I told Nia to accept an invite for coffee. They met at a boutique cafe Ava loved, the kind with $8 matcha lattes and minimalist furniture. Ava looked wrecked. Dark circles under her eyes, hair unwashed, blazer rumpled like she'd slept in it. Nia was flawless. Thanks for meeting me, Ava said. I needed someone who understands how this world works. I'm all ears, Nia replied. Ava unloaded everything. The investigation, the bar complaints, her parents blaming her for Mark leaving, even rumors about her being blacklisted. She said she felt haunted, like she was constantly being watched. You ever feel like karma's real? She asked. Nia sipped her latte. No, I think karma is just someone paying attention. That was the moment Ava cracked. She started crying in public, mascara running, shoulders shaking, hands gripping her paper cup like it was a lifeline. Do you think I deserve this? She whispered. Nia tilted her head. Honestly, Ava nodded. Yes, Nia said. I think you do. A week later, the firm placed her on unpaid leave pending final review. 2 weeks after that, the bar formally suspended her license. I sent Ava one final message from a new burner email she wouldn't recognize. Subject, FYI, body. You didn't ruin my life. You gave me purpose. Now you know what that feels like. After the bar suspension, Ava disappeared from most of the internet. She deleted her LinkedIn first, probably when recruiters stopped replying. Then her Instagram. Her Twitter went silent. Her last post was a retweet about mental health and burnout, followed by a flood of comments she never replied to. She tried to claw back her career behind the scenes. Of course, filed appeals, hired a crisis PR consultant, even submitted a formal letter to the bar blaming a smear campaign by a disgruntled ex-client. It didn't work. None of it worked. She wasn't just done in her firm. She was radioactive in the entire field. Nobody wanted a lawyer with a reputation for leaking documents and sabotaging coworkers. Not even the sketchy firms. Especially not them. The best part? I never fabricated anything. All I did was shine a light. She moved back in with our parents sometime that spring. I didn't see her, didn't need to. I had eyes on her through a dozen passive channels. A friend of a friend at her old firm. A contact at the bar. Google alerts. And, most importantly, Nia. Ava still texted Elena, less frequently now, and always with this new tone, like she was trying to impress her, but also begging for validation. I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Maybe explain law in plain English. Something simple, marketable. You know anyone who needs a contract editor? I'm open to freelance. Was just remembering that rooftop night. One of my last good memories. Hope we can catch up soon. Nia asked if we were done. Almost. I told her. One last thread to pull. I crafted the final piece carefully. I wanted Ava to know it had been me. Not as a boast, not as a threat, but as an inevitable conclusion to the story she thought she had authored. She thought she was the protagonist. I needed her to realize she'd always been the villain. So I printed out a curated dossier. Not everything, just enough. Screenshots of her messages from the burn folder. A printout of the original essay she sabotaged. The forged emails to my old boss. And at the end, a USB drive labeled "Do not open if you want to keep lying to yourself." Then I wrote a letter. Ava, you said I wouldn't have made it anyway, that you did me a favor. But here's the truth. I did make it. You tried to bury me under your fear, your jealousy, your addiction to being better than me. And I still climbed out. Every job I lost, every friend who left, every opportunity stolen. I carried it. I rebuilt with it. I turned it into something sharper than memory. You were never stronger than me. You just struck first. And now you've lived what you gave me. Suspicion, rejection, doubt, isolation. The only difference is I survived it. You won't. Your brother. But you can still call me Elena if it makes you feel better. I mailed it to her directly. Certified. Signature required. She didn't respond for 3 weeks. Then one night, Nia, still in character as Elena, got a single message. You were him. That was it. No defense. No denial. No apology. Just those 3 words. I stared at that message for a long time. She finally knew. She finally saw me. After that, I shut it all down. I scrubbed Elena from the internet, deleted the profiles, burned the backups, closed the final accounts. Nia moved on to other gigs. I sent her a generous bonus and a handwritten thank you card with 2 words. We did it. I didn't need to watch Ava anymore. Her life was no longer mine to avenge. It's been a year now. I run a quiet cybersecurity consulting business from a small apartment in Seattle. Nothing flashy. Mostly startup clients and nonprofit orgs. The kind of work that makes me feel useful, not famous. Sometimes I Google Ava, just out of curiosity. Nothing new ever comes up. I heard from a mutual cousin that she works part-time editing blog posts for a legal SEO firm, the kind of job they give to interns. Apparently she lives at home still, rarely leaves her room. Our parents insist she's just regrouping. Sure, let her regroup. Let her sit in the life she left me with, and learn what it takes to crawl out of it. Let her feel the weight of silence pressing on her chest, the kind that whispers you're no one, you're nothing, because now she knows what that means. Now she lives my life, and I live free.